We are finally moving forward on holding high government officials accountable. Trump and the DOJ have just sent out a formal letter to Nancy Pelosi, Hakeem Jeffries, Governor Pritzker, Governor Gavin Newsom, and other top Democratic officials saying that if they interfere anymore moving forward with federal immigration enforcement, calling any attempt to arrest or impede agents, they will face prosecution for obstruction of justice. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. We have been waiting for this for a long time. You've heard all the anti-ICE rhetoric. You've heard even where top officials like Nancy Pelosi saying, oh, in California, we're going to arrest these ICE agents. The DOJ has said, look, if you call any attempt to arrest or if you impede agents anymore, you're going to be prosecuted. No more. Trump said he's done with it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm finally so happy we're finally holding these people accountable. If you appreciate this, everybody, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, that's what I'm talking about, because this is holding these top elitist two-tiered justice system people accountable. The Trump administration's Department of Justice issued the formal letter to Democrat officials, including Nancy Pelosi and J.B. Pritzker, warning them to cease threats against federal agents or face prosecution for obstruction of justice. We also have it where, again, I'm telling you, everybody, today is a day of justice, long overdue, 100%. Ben Johnson, mom, just like you just said, overdue. Mike Davis has just announced that a grand jury will be launching on Crossfire Hurricane in January. He said, lawyer up, mother. Yeah. He said it's going to be impaneled in January. He said, I've been calling this for 3 years. I'm going to make sure these lawfare Democrats go to prison. That's what we voted for. Holding people accountable. Arresting these top Democrat officials that continue to abuse their power and continue to gaslight, lie to the American people to follow their own political agenda. And not only that, guys, good news is on the horizon, because again, it's just been announced this morning, 75 million Americans will be getting a 2.8% increase in monthly Social Security benefits and SSI payments in 2026. And again, more good news, Trump just revealed that an anonymous billionaire is paying the troops right now during the shutdown and officially sent the first check for $130 million. Trump's got friends in high places. He's going to take care of Americans, take care of our military, take care of our seniors. I love it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, because this is big. Trump's CMS chief, Dr. Oz, just found out that with auditing just a few states, over $1 billion has been spent in fraudulent spending on healthcare for illegal aliens. He said in the few states we examined, we've identified more than $1 billion of money, federal tax dollars, that have gone to illegal immigrants. We've also found that in California, Governor Gavin Newsom gave 62,000 CDL commercial driver licenses to illegals. Now you tell me, how many of those dang illegals voted in the federal elections with their commercial driver's licenses? It's all a scam. We're exposing them all. Today is a day of justice. We're finally moving forward, and I love it, because if we don't hold these people accountable, they will continue to abuse the justice system and abuse our taxpayer dollars, and I'm done with it. So is Trump. Let me know your thoughts, guys. This is big news today. Big news. I want to say thank you to everybody who is watching, to all of our subscribers and viewers. Y'all are the best. Thank you so much to everybody that is supporting our family here at TrueLife News. If you're not a part, though, if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider joining our family, hitting that subscribe button so we can take care of you every day with the top news. We got a bunch of stuff to go over today. Want to give some special love to our members. Every single month, remember, on the 22nd of every month, we're donating to a local charity live on stream. I show you everything. I show you the receipts. And whenever you support us through being a member or giving a super chat donation, We want to give you some love. Donald Little, show our boy Donald some love in the chat. And if you don't mind doing us a huge favor of hitting the thumbs up like button, this really does help to get our voice out, grow this mission, everybody. We're exposing it all. And again, we're bringing the receipts. So much is going on in the Department of Justice, and it's about dang time, because what you're about to hear next should never be coming from a top official of the government, and now we're holding them accountable. Listen to this.
Nancy Pelosi called for something that we've never heard of before. Our state and local authorities may arrest federal agents if they break California law. And if they're convicted, the president cannot pardon them. San Francisco police arresting ICE agents for enforcing the law? I'd like to see San Fran PD slap cuffs on Homan's boys. I'd like to see that. This is Civil War type stuff. Democrats are working harder to arrest ICE than illegals. Why didn't they make a master tracker for the migrant kids Biden lost? Or Antifa? Democrats keep hiding them. But journalists are infiltrating their camps. Why?
This is where the radical left organizes, recruits, and indoctrinates the next generation of Antifa militants.
So if I take this?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Generously giving away free propaganda material on how to mobilize for a violent direct action. Selling soccer scarves to fundraise for an Antifa bail fund.
Antifa's number one enemy? ICE.
The all-day sessions ended with a panel on organizing against ICE. Representatives from NorCal Resist dressed up as Hamas terrorists in what they're now calling Kafia Bloc.
Wow.
Instead of Black Bloc, since they know federal authorities are scrutinizing Antifa more than ever.
We help eliminate these to counter their tactics that we're constantly evolving, forcing them.
Democrats call them mostly peaceful soccer moms. Trump, not so much.
I looked the other night, Saturday night, Portland is like burning to the ground, and these people are saying it's just friendly stuff. The whole place is burning to the ground. That's like an insurrection more than it is anything else.
The Trump team isn't just trying to stamp out Antifa. They're taking on cartels coast to coast and on the high seas. If you're sailing a narco boat, better learn to doggy paddle. The secretary.
And what I love, everybody, is that, again, this is all coming to an end. Look at this. This is breaking news from Todd Blanche, Deputy Attorney General, announced that the Trump administration's Department of Justice has issued a formal letter to Democrat officials, including Nancy Pelosi and J.B. Pritzker, warning them to cease threats against federal agents or face potential prosecution for obstructing. This is what we voted for.
Did yesterday, what the governor of Illinois said yesterday, does nothing but harm this country. You cannot touch federal agents when they're doing their job, and that's something that they know. It's something that we reminded them of last night, because if you do, you're committing a crime. And the amazing thing about what happened is yesterday, President Trump announced and formally launched the Homeland Security Task Force. This is, in our modern history, the single largest effort by law enforcement to combat narco-terrorists and to get the scourge and the drug dealers out of this country. In just 60 days, we've arrested over 3,200 drug dealers and either gotten them out of this country or put them in jail. On that same day, you have Pelosi, you have other congresswomen, you have a congressman from New York, and you have the governor of Illinois not praising that, not thanking President Trump, but saying that federal law enforcement agents should be arrested. That's the best example of the difference between what this administration is doing and what the Democrats want done. And it's sad, and I feel bad for our federal law enforcement and their families and their wives and their husbands and their children when their mom goes to work every day putting their life on their line, and they have governors and leaders in the Democrat Party suggesting they should be arrested.
Do you hear this, everybody? I'm telling you, this is why they're fed up with it. And I want to show you the receipts too. Everything, we bring the receipts, guys, of what's going on. There is so much that is happening against all these people that have used lawfare. Look at this. This is right here that shows, and this is what FBI Director Kash Patel posted, that it came from the top. All this stuff comes from the top, and we're finally holding them accountable. That this Biden administration, AG Garland, his deputy Lisa Monica, and then Director Christopher Wray physically signed off on a probe codenamed Arctic Frost, which was used as lawfare against President Trump. All this stuff, we're showing you the receipts. Here's their signatures right here. You cannot deny this, everybody. And this is why we're holding them accountable. We're tired of the lawfare. We're tired of them trying to say that they're just going to arrest our people. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, guys, thank you so much for your support. Jitsco G123, member of the channel, let's go, said, I so look forward to your timely updates. Jesus is the Son of God. Jitsco John 14:16, thanks for all your hard work, Joel. Be blessed and be a blessing. Amen. Show Jitsco G123 some love in the chat, everybody. Thank you so much for your support. And also show some love to the real KRO member for 2 months. Show him some love in the chat, everybody. Thank you so much for your support. I am sick and tired of seeing this happening, and I'm ready to hold these people accountable. Listen to this, because again, we are moving forward with them.
U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi is here. All right, so Lori Lightfoot, JB Back Ribs Pritzker, they're doxing, they're telling people the whereabouts of ICE agents. Is that legal?
No. And Jesse, first time I've seen the Lori Lightfoot video is just now on your show. She will be getting a letter from us tomorrow to preserve anything that she's done as well, to make sure that she's not violating the law. It appears she is. You cannot disclose the identity of a federal agent, where they live, anything that could harm them. Pritzker, same ball game with him. And, you know, Pelosi got a letter today from Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche. So did Brooke Jenkins, that DA in San Francisco. We told them, preserve your emails, preserve everything you have on this topic, because if you are telling people to arrest our ICE officers, our federal agents, you cannot do that. You're impeding an investigation, and we will charge them if they think they have not met me, because we will charge them if they are violating the law. We will protect our federal agents. They're out there working nonstop, as you're showing right now during a shutdown. These people are out there working to keep Californians safe, yet you've got Pelosi out there saying to obstruct their investigation. You can't do it, and we're going to investigate her now, as well as that DA. Pritzker's on the list too, Jesse.
I'm not a lawyer.
I told you, I bring you the receipts, everybody. Here is the official letter from the Department of Justice, coming from Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche to Governor Newsom, Rob Bonta, Nancy Pelosi, Brooke Jenkins, telling them, look, you are trying to essentially dox federal workers. You're trying to call them out, and you're trying to call for their arrest. Well, guess what? Preserve every single one of your documents, because we are going to investigate you. Look at this. This is the actual letter signed by Todd Blanche right here. This is the official letter. Guys, I'm telling you, we're finally moving forward on investigating these people, seeing every single correspondence. It is so important that we continue to do this, because the corruption is real. If we do not fight against this corruption, it will continue to happen. It will continue to hurt Americans, and it will continue to obstruct us making America great again. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. This is big. And I want to move real quick into our sponsor real quick, everybody, because I'm sick and tired. I heard some more stuff that went on a couple of days ago and yesterday. But right now, we're in open enrollment. The government is shut down. People, we just got the announcement this morning, COLA update for Social Security. SSI is up 2.8%. We'll be hitting in 2026. But when it comes to Medicare, when it comes to Medicaid, the amount of billions of dollars that are being spent on illegals that should be going to our citizens, it's not right. And also right here, that the Department of Justice is still investigating 3 national health insurance companies, 3 brokers for unlawful kickbacks, discrimination against disabled Americans. And then, whenever you have it where Dr. Oz comes out and says there's been found over $1 billion in fraudulent spending on healthcare for illegal aliens in a few states that were examined, not all of them, a few states. That's where I say, and I partnered with this company, Chapter. They do a phenomenal job on making sure that this that you're taken care of. And this is free, everybody. It's free. Doesn't cost you a penny. You call them up, 667-895-3015. You tell them that Joel sent you. And if you're on Medicare, they're going to make sure that you get the best plan possible. They have saved seniors on average $1,100 a year. Guys, this is huge. That's a lot of money. I don't know about you, but it's a lot of money to me. And whenever I hear of my own family saving money, to me, that's what it's all about. Helping each other out. Making sure that when it comes to our swampy government right now, that we do everything that we can to work together, to utilize the resources we have, and make it known of how we can make sure to save as much money of our hard-earned money back in our pockets that should be yours. And that's why, again, they compare every single Medicare plan. They're free. They're a phenomenal company. There's a link in the description to go to the website, or you can call them up at the number 667-895-3015. They're going to get you taken care of. You tell them that Joel sent you, and I promise you, you will be better for it. They've helped out so many already on this channel, and I just want everybody to be helped out. Because again, the corruption is real, everybody. When you're looking at the actual document that's officially been sent to these top Democrats, two-tier justice system people, that they're going to be investigated by the DOJ now, including Nancy Pelosi. This is what we voted for. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
But these are warning letters. You send these out to say preserve documents.
Yes.
You've been warned you could face legal action if this continues.
That's right. They got these letters today in California because they cannot impede a federal investigation. They cannot impede federal officers doing their jobs. They're out there risking their lives every single day and night to keep the people of California safe. Yet these lawmakers are insane. They're truly insane by what they're doing. And Donald Trump is not going to put up with it. We are going to protect our men and women in blue. We're going to protect all of our law enforcement agents. And these politicians aren't going to get away with it anymore.
All right. And something that's really near and dear to our heart here at Prime Time, Irina, the woman who was stabbed on mass transit a couple months ago. Are we going to get justice for Irina?
Yeah, Jesse, we were able to charge that monster with murder on mass transit. That's how we were able to get federal jurisdiction. He has been indicted. And of course, I plan on signing a warrant to seek the death penalty in that case. He had been arrested 14 times, Jesse, as you know, and should have been in jail when he murdered that beautiful, innocent young woman.
I'm glad you're doing.
Let me tell you this, everybody. The news that I bring to you, I bring the receipts. You can go check this out for yourself. This person, Elias Nyawanda, hopefully I said that right. I don't, it really doesn't matter. He's a registered sex offender in Utah. He's an illegal alien, received $177,000 in Medicaid health care. And you want to tell me that these Democrats, oh, no, there's nobody that's an illegal alien that's receiving health care. There's nobody that's not a citizen that's receiving taxpayer-funded health care. Y'all are the biggest gaslighting, liars, hypocritical people we've ever exposed. And here it is. You can fact check me on this. This, again, is one more example why we have to have justice. If you appreciate what we're doing, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, I'm sick and tired that we show this type of news, okay? I am. But if we don't show it, who will? Because you're not seeing this on mainstream media. We're showing you that one person received $177,000 in Medicare who's an illegal alien sex offender. What are they doing about it? This is what I love, because we've got our boy Mike Davis. They're literally behind the scenes going so far, making things happen, holding people accountable, and you're hearing it here first.
What are they complaining about, sir?
Well, I would say this to these Democrats. If the 2020 election was so clean, why are they so scared to show their work? Why are they freaking out about opening up the hood and taking a look at the 2020 election? And we all know the answer. It was clearly rigged and stolen. They used COVID as an excuse to illegally, unconstitutionally mass mail ballots out to old voter list, including college students who move, and these ballots pile up at these apartment complexes. And how do you prevent a fraudulent mail ballot? You look at signature verification, but somehow COVID changed our signature, and they turned signature verification down to meaningless. And so, of course, they stole the election. They know it. They know they're going to get caught. It's one of the biggest scandals in American history that you can rig and steal an election. They also know that they're getting caught on this lawfare, this criminal conspiracy against rights under 18 U.S.C. Section 241. My old boss, Chuck Grassley, found a pretty damning memo from former FBI Director Chris Wray to Attorney General Merrick Garland through Deputy Attorney General Lisa Monaco, who's the worst actor of them all, Lisa Monaco. But this memo authorized Arctic frost. And let's just explain to your listeners and viewers what Arctic frost is. Democrats, the Biden administration used President Trump's challenge of the 2020 election as a predicate to open up a crime. And again, I keep saying this on your show, it is not a crime to object to a presidential election. It's only a crime to object to a presidential election in a third world Marxist hellhole. If it were a crime to object to a presidential election, you would see Democrats in prison for objecting to Republican wins and Democrat losses in 1968, 2000, 2004, and 2016. And so there's clearly not a crime here, but what the Biden Justice Department did was used Arctic frost to spy on and try to imprison President Trump, his top aides, his allies, and even his allies in the United States Senate. And the fact that they spied on 9 U.S. senators, it finally got the Senate's attention after 4 years.
Let me tell you this, everybody. If there is anything that makes me so happy is that this is catching wind across the board, that these people that 100% will go against actual putting America first policies now have been told, and we showed you the receipt coming out from Fox News, like everybody's reporting on it, saying, guess what? You either stand down, stop talking about ICE, stop talking about arresting ICE, stop talking about anti-ICE policies, or guess what? You're going to be arrested. And they've already sent the formal letters giving them a warning saying this is going to happen, and now they've been put on notice. This is what we voted for. We want to see a fair justice system for everybody, even these people in Congress.
Mike Davis, and people should know the Viceroy is from this morning, there are multiple fronts in which major action is taking, from federal grand juries to people working on tiger teams or task force inside the government about taking down the deep state or de-weaponizing the deep state, to Heather Honey and others now coming in to look at the mechanics of the elections, and people starting to actually get down and start to look at adjudicating the 2020 election. On all that, one of the most explosive was yesterday. I just want to go back and make sure everybody understands the scale of this, because it took a whistleblower at the FBI. They had buried this so deep that Kash Patel, the director, and Dan Bongino, the deputy director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, could not find this. I want everybody to embrace that. Could not find this. It took a whistleblower to come forward about the senators, about the 9 senators basically being wiretapped. Let's call it what it is, wiretapped by Biden's regime. I want to say how big was this memo? Now they've unearthed this memo, kind of setting up Arctic frost. How big is this? How's it tied to the senators? And where do you think this goes? Grassley, people got to remember, Grassley ain't a lawyer. He's an Iowa farmer. He's tough as boot leather, and he's like a dog with a bone against these investigations. Mike Davis, the Viceroy, your thoughts?
I want to show you this, guys, because everything that they say, just know in context what you're fighting against, because it's all coming out. I bring you the receipts of what happens on both sides, and this is big right here. And if you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, everybody, this is big. Right now, we have across the country these Democrats. Democrat Texas State Representative Yolanda Jones has sparked outrage after saying that Democrats need wipe out every Republican and, in a graphic metaphor, slash their political opponents' throats. Where in the world are these people coming from, and how in the world did they get elected? Because again, too, everybody, this is what we're dealing with on the other side. So when you hear what you're about to hear from Mike Davis, this is people on the other side that literally are saying this horrible rhetoric. And there's crazy people out there. When you got 330 million people, I promise you at least 10 of them are crazy and will do and hear these people's voices and take action and do horrendous things like we've seen in the past. Listen to this.
I would say this is the biggest mistake that these lawfare Democrats made. You didn't hear senators complain too much when the Biden Justice Department, the Obama Justice Department, spied on a presidential candidate Donald Trump, spied on him when he was the president of the United States, indicted him, went after his top aides like you and Peter Navarro and Jeff Clark and so many others. It wasn't until the lawfare Democrats went after these U.S. senators that they really got into hot water here. And I say this, presidents come and go, senators last for decades, right? And so this was a huge tactical mistake by these lawfare Democrats. It finally got the senators' attention. You're hearing senators who I didn't hear say very much about this unprecedented Republicaning lawfare over the last 8 years. They're suddenly very interested and very outraged. And so a big mistake by these lawfare Democrats, Merrick Garland, Lisa Monaco, Chris Wray, Jack Smith, Jay Bratt, so many of these bad actors. I would also take note of a new court order I think people missed down in the Southern District of Florida, where the new Trump U.S. attorney in Miami, Jason Redding Quinones, one of my good friends, opened up a special grand jury in Fort Pierce, Florida, and that's going to get impaneled sometime in early January. So I would watch out for what's happening down in the Southern District of Florida. We've been calling for an investigation under 18 U.S.C. Section 241 conspiracy against rights for over 3 years on this show, Steve Bannon, since the Mar-a-Lago raid, and maybe, just maybe, that's going to happen.
Mike, the other thing they're going crazy about is this effort to go after the deep state and start to take apart the weaponization and using teams put together from inside the government. I mean, obviously, it would come from inside the government. What is their complaint? I don't understand the grounds of their complaint on this. To look at the deep state and the deep state actors, they're going absolutely crazy on this topic. Your thoughts?
Yeah, think about if this were a corporation and you have the executives of the corporation going bonkers because the board of directors of the corporation wants to do an audit of the books, and the executives are going crazy. You can't do it on the books, and you have to ask, why not? Why can't you make these government officials show their work on the 2020 election? Why can't you make these government officials show their work on what they did to investigate their political enemies, going back to the Russian collusion hoax? If they've done nothing wrong, they shouldn't be concerned about showing their work. But they're freaking out, so maybe that's a good indication that Trump and his team are over the target, and they've actually done something very bad with the 2020 election. These Democrat operatives, maybe they've done something very bad with this lawfare against President Trump, his top aides, his allies, his supporters on January 6th, parents, Christians. Maybe they know they're going to get caught, and that's why they're freaking out.
And again, to everybody, you cannot, when we're at the point now in 2025 where we bring these people on live TV, they're asked simple questions. There's no way around it. And they still think that they can gaslight and lie to people straight to their faces. This is where you know the Democratic Party is being dismantled. And again, it's not like I'm a huge fan of the Republican Party. I am a huge fan of America First, MAGA. But listen to this, because I'm telling you, it is hilarious how far and willing they're going, and this is why we need to hold them accountable.
No, they're doing everything by the book.
Why does Chicago have the highest murder rate of all the big cities?
Well, we are not in the top 30 in terms of our murder rate. Indeed,
the murder
our murder rate it has been cut in half over the last 4 years, and every year it's gone down by double digits. And if you look at all of the violent crime over the last 4 years,
here's a map.
He said, wait, hold on. Here's a map. This is from the FBI. This is the data. Chicago's the highest.
All gone down.
U.S. cities, 17.47 per 100,000 population. Chicago is number one over Philadelphia, Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, Phoenix, Los Angeles, New York, and San Diego.
What I'm explaining to you is when you want to fight crime. Look, you can pull statistics up.
No, these are murders.
I'm explaining to you that our murder rate has been cut in half. And very importantly, Brett, and you got to hear this, very importantly, we've been doing the things that are necessary to bring crime down, right? We've invested in community violence interruption. We've invested in police.
So again, even to your face, these people just lie. I mean, it is mind-blowing. And you think, do people on the other side that support these people, do they truly not see it? Like, what is going on? And I want to show you this because, again, today is a day of justice. It's all about accountability. I'm showing you the receipts of everything that has happened from the DOJ to Kash Patel to Pam Bondi against these corrupt elitists that continue to try to obstruct justice. Listen to this.
Finally, this. Iowa Senator Chuck Grassley releasing a memo which shows the Department of Justice under then Attorney General Merrick Garland unleashed unchecked government power on associates of President Trump. Grassley posted this on X. Just received this doc from DOJ, proof that Biden Attorney General Merrick Garland plus Deputy Attorney General Lisa Monaco plus FBI Director Chris Wray all personally approved opening Arctic frost. This investigation unleashed unchecked government power at the highest levels. My oversight is going to continue. This document you're seeing here, Maria, it's from April of 2022. It authorized the FBI's D.C. field office to open a probe into whether or not individuals connected to Trump's 2020 campaign conspired to obstruct the certification of the election, January 6, 2020. But this all led to what we know now, and that's that special counsel Jack Smith surveilled the phones of 8 Republican senators and 1 House member. Now, Smith yesterday asked House and Senate Judiciary Committees that his testimony be public. His lawyers reaching out to Mr. Jordan, Mr. Grassley. That happened yesterday afternoon, Maria.
Well, I'm not surprised that was the crew that was running things and directing Arctic Frost, Chris, directing our most important law enforcement agencies to turn the tables and track their Republican political opponents.
Yeah, obviously this is bad. This is just the unchecked power is exactly what Chuck Grassley needs to be focused on here. But I will say I'm not sure about the political strategy here. We don't need to be thinking about January 6th. We need to be talking about the Schumer shutdown. We need to be talking about how poorly Democrats are governing these big cities like with J.B. Pritzker. Those are the things we need to be focused on. And I'm worried that we need a lot of power at DOJ for the administration to go after some of these folks.
Yes.
So I'm really worried that we're going to miss out on opportunities to crack down on the bad guys.
I mean, look, John, I don't know how much Joe Biden knew. We all know he had mental capacity issues. Was it the Democrats driving this? Was it, Lisa Monaco and Merrick Garland really just wanting to turn the tables on the Republicans? Or was it coming from Joe Biden? We don't know.
We don't really know. But, the fact of the matter is that justice should not have been doing this in the first place. This should not have been taking place. It was a waste of taxpayer money. There are other types of activity that perhaps they should have been following more closely. Look at all the while this is going on, we had millions of illegal border crossings in the United States, and that's breaking the law on a very grand scale. And how about the crime that we had in various cities that they didn't care about? How about all the people dying of fentanyl coming from China and whatnot? Where were they?
And that's the point that I always make, Cheryl. It's not just about what they did to their political opponents, but it's what they did not do for the American people. It's a dereliction of duty to allow all those illegals to come in and also blow off what was going on China. Because China right now is eating our lunch when it comes to all of these things that we need so much, rare earth minerals, pharmaceuticals, chips, etc. How come that they were yelling Russia, Russia, Russia and tracking Republican senators when they weren't ensuring that we had everything we needed here so that we weren't reliant on communist China?
All of those policies, all of those decisions under the Biden administration, Maria, came to fruition November of 2024. And that is why right now the White House, the Senate, Congress, and of course, everything is controlled by the Republicans. That's why. And
let me tell you this, everybody. The reason I show you this stuff is because, again, it's facts of what we're dealing with on the other side. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, thank you so much for your support in supporting our channel. Minnesota Supreme Court rules ban of trans-identified male powerlifter from women's event is discrimination. Do you believe this? It is discriminatory that a man who transitions to a woman goes in and beats everybody. Not only beats them, breaks records. It's discriminatory to ban him from beating all the women who are biologically women. And not only that, everybody, it is just mind-blowing that these people, no matter what, can always find a way to blame Donald Trump, even for crime that is committed. It is Donald Trump's fault. Y'all know who Stephen A. Smith. He's a front runner for the Democratic Party. And right here, he's losing actually a lot in the polls right now for the last two statements that he has retracted. One was what he said about Jasmine Crockett, and another is right here, what you're seeing on the screen. Stephen A. Smith says that the NBA game-rigged mafia-linked scandal uncovered by the FBI is President Trump's revenge. It's Trump's revenge that the FBI went in and found all this game rigging within the NBA by the mafia. People, what is it called? Losing games, rigging the games. It's Trump's fault that the FBI captured these criminals. Do you hear this? You cannot make this stuff up, everybody. You cannot make up how bad things are getting. And I want to show you this too. Right now, there's a lot of the top Democrat people that are trying to push this mass blackout from November 25th to December 2nd. They're posting this across the board saying that this is going to be the largest economic blackout protest in U.S. history. No work, no spending, no restaurants, no projects, no events, nothing. What they're trying to do is say, look how powerful we are. So you mean to tell me that we're already in a government shutdown, and now this person who's not even in she's not even in the United States anymore, but is trying to cause more chaos and push this across the United States for the mass blackout? Let me know your thoughts. And again, we show you the receipts, guys. It is getting so bad right now that even people on the left are calling out the leadership of the Democratic Party and saying, what are y'all doing? Andy, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go, brother. Said Democrats are all of their plantation slaves, EBT leeches, riled up with welfare cuts, ready to commit violence against us as punishment for Trump. Time to wean them off the teat of the state. Mommy government is broken. Amen, brother. No more entitlements. Show our brother Andy some love in the chat, as well as Alice Lewis, OG of the channel, said, do you know what charity we're giving to this month and how the merch coming along? Yes, Alice. So I can announce later in the show who we're going to be giving to, and then also too, we just got back some of the designs for the new shirt and the merch coming along. So hopefully we're going to be getting that in the next couple of weeks. A final for pre-orders. Thank you so much, Alice, for your support. Catherine Rags, let's go. So what is your email so I may send you some info? Okay, Catherine, I will put that in the chat. Thank you so much for your support. And our boy, OG of the channel, Jim Barbato. Show him some love in the chat. Member of the channel. Show our boy Jim some love, everybody. And again, April Green with the super chat. Show April some love in the chat, everybody. Thank you so much for your support. Listen to this.
It said what you are asking the Republicans to do right now when they control the White House, the Senate, and the House is effectively what the Democrats could not do when they controlled all three of those heads of government themselves. The 10-year setup for this, for these, or the 3-year setup for the expiration of these credits was intentionally put in. It was put in when you controlled the White House, the House, and the Senate. You couldn't get it passed for longer. And so this is a setup that kind of your own creation that you all couldn't extend beyond that. Now you want the Republicans to do something you didn't do when you were in power?
Ooh!
It's not a setup beyond what we could do. We extended the Affordable Care Act tax credits in 2022 for 3 years. The program is working. It's providing health care to tens of millions of people in an affordable way, and it should be continued. It's interesting to us that Republicans decided that they would prefer to permanently extend massive tax breaks.
Let me tell you this. When you have to subsidize the Affordable Health Care Program, it's all because you're giving, I'm telling you, the money that's going to illegals across the board is in the hundreds of billions of dollars, okay? And when we hear, listen to this.
A federal audit found California had issued 62,000 CDLs to drivers who entered illegally, John, or do not have a permanent legal status as required by the feds. California sanctuary laws prohibit asking applicants their immigration status. Governor Newsom said there's not a problem. Back to you.
Did I hear
62,000 commercial driver's license to illegal aliens?
Are you right? Did you say 62,000?
That's correct.
Oh my goodness. It's a federal.
And I promise you this, those same people, if they were to try to go and vote, they don't ask for voter ID. They don't ask for nothing but a signature. So again, how is it that people don't see this blatantly? And a lot of people say, well, not every one of them is doing. I promise you, by the theory of large numbers, at least 10 to 20% of these people are voting, are getting benefits or somewhat, and it is costing us a ton of money. Jog Haws, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. Show Jog Haws 1 some love in the chat, everybody. Again, this is one of the biggest fights ever. We got a lot of leverage right now, and we are exposing these people like never before. Listen to this.
The shutdown now in day 23 after Democrats block the 12th Republican attempt to open our government up. And another vote just failed on paying essential workers. You would think that they could agree on something, maybe that part of it. Well, it turns out, nope, can't do it. And one key Democrat just admitted why. Listen to this.
Shutdowns are terrible. And of course, there will be families that are going to suffer. We take that responsibility very seriously, but it is one of the few leveraged times we have. It is an inflection point in this budget process where we have tried to get the Republicans to meet with us and prioritize the American people.
So it's bad to keep the government shut down, Larry. It's bad, it's bad, it's bad. But it's the one time that we have some leverage, so we're going to use it. I mean, really?
The president's playing his cards pretty well. He won't meet with them unless they pass the resolution. It's straightforward enough. So let's not make this any harder than it needs to be. If you want to play, you want to talk, he'll talk. Meanwhile, you got to clear out this local judge from California so my pal Russ Vought can go into action, pull the trigger, and make sure that non-essentials are permanently non-essential. And that all the pork that Joe Biden spent to get reelected and otherwise, his big government socialism, is, pardon the phrase, terminated. impounded, that's the word I use because it inflames all people on the left. Impound that. Executive authority is there. Let's go for it. Pull the trigger. I'm ready to pull the trigger. Democrats want this thing to go on. Pull the trigger. John Kennedy, Senator Kennedy, ever had him on? He's a wonderful man. He's a brilliant guy. He was talking about it. He said, Russ Vought's been ready for this since puberty. Russ got all his plans ready. It's fantastic. I know, Russ, you can see him beavering away. Guess go for it.
So, Trump has so much leverage right now, and if you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, because this is just beautiful. Right now, he's exposing the Democrats for what they are. And also, too, the Democrats are throwing a huge fight over this extension of adding a ballroom to the White House, okay? All in the midst of the shutdown, but it's fully paid for by private donors. So Trump was like, okay, we need to put some major events timelines on the whitehouse.gov website of the Democrats. This is such a troll, guys. This is hilarious. Bill Clinton scandal. President Bill Clinton's affair with intern Monica Lewinsky. Muslim Brotherhood visit. This is Obama hosts members of the Muslim Brotherhood, a group of promotes Islamist extremism and ties to Hamas. And then he put the First Lady Melania Trump oversees the privately funded. Don't you just love that whenever Trump does something, it's privately funded? Tennis pavilion on the South Lawn. And then you got cocaine discovered. This is on the White House, guys. This is hilarious. During the Biden administration, Secret Service discovered this small Ziploc plastic bag of drugs, yet they don't know anybody. They don't know who it was from. Then you have the Trans Day of Visibility under the Biden-Harris administration. Like, again, you cannot make this up how much he trolls, but again, when you show the average common sense person what has happened throughout the years when it comes to the Democrat leadership, it is a joke. Catherine Rex, let's go with the super chat. I love it. Says starting 501c3 for elderly and disabled for private, provide transport for their animals for free. Second and from the vet, much more. No idea what I'm doing. Hey, we appreciate you so much. Show Catherine some love in the chat, as well as OG Tracy DeCambre said, I don't understand how people can't see what the Democrats are doing. They only care for protecting illegal immigrants and lining their pockets with money 100%. And trust me, guys, there's Republicans on the other side too, the rhinos, and we got to root them out. Show Tracy some love in the chat, as well as our boy Jim Barbato. Let's go. Said coming soon. Show Jim some love in the chat, OG of the channel, as well as Ty Matt Chong. Hey, Ty Matt Chong's an OG too. He said, hello, Joe. I'd like to describe USA Democrats and South Korea Democrats not working for Korean citizens, but work for communists, China, and North Korea. In U.S. Democrat, work for non-citizens. I don't understand this. Me neither. But you know what? That's what you can only do whenever you have horrible, horrible policies. Show Ty Matt Chong some love in the chat, as well as Jim Barbato and Tracy DeCambre in the chat. Listen to this.
Republicans win these shutdowns politically every single time because there's a lot of conservative Republicans like me that are happy to see the government shut down. You spend too much money. You waste it. It's all utter nonsense. Look, I don't want military members not to get their paychecks, and there's some other things, but by and large, I'm not bothered by a shutdown. And then when you have Russ Vogt here, kind of pushing things over the line that are part of the entire campaign pledge, this is a huge win. But the Democrats have nothing. They have no impetus to force the Republicans to make any changes because they have a losing argument. And it's like with Mandami. These are losing strategies in the short, medium, and long term. So where do we go from here?
Well, can I just say, though, I get worried that they do have a little leverage with some weaker need Republicans who get skittish about constituents back home complaining that they're not getting their Obamacare. So there's a few of them out there, and there's just enough that if you got them together and they got nervous, they might go along.
I don't agree with your political critique. Sympathetic to it, but I don't agree with it. The key, look, they're going to negotiate on health care and Obamacare, whether I like it or not. And they're starting already, Republicans are conferencing to do this. from Louisiana, not John Kennedy. The other one, Bill
Cassidy.
Cassidy, right? Who's Dr. Cassidy, a smart guy. And you have to make an accommodation, but the president is right. We're not going to talk until you reopen the government, okay? And that is the right principle, and he's doing very well on that. I had Ari Fleischer on last night looking, you know, Trump is slightly underwater, but nothing compared to where he was when this last shutdown during his first term. I think he was -6, so he's slightly underwater. He was -12 in the first term when they had the shutdown, which shows you the Republicans are doing better.
Yes.
It's not blame-free. Look, there's no way to run a government. Come on. I mean, it's just pure
What are they afraid
silliness.
of? Because Toons said this, and I love this quote. We've offered them a lot of things they were asking for, a normal appropriations process, an opportunity to get a vote on some of the things that they want to see voted on with respect to the expiring Obamacare enhanced subsidies. But that can't happen until we open up the government. Why won't you vote on it? Why won't you see if you can do it that way? Isn't that the better way to do it, to prove to people that that really is what Americans want, that their representatives are voting for?
Democrats are the left-wing party. They are the left-wing, big government socialist party. You know, you look at like this gal who said, you know, put her foot in her mouth. She's from Massachusetts. Really? The leadership, right, in the Senate and the House are from, wait for it, Brooklyn, New York. Where's the Republican leadership from? They're from the Sun Belt and the South and Texas and Louisiana
Midwest.
and the Midwest. Thank you. It's just they're just stuck. They've just AOC and Bernie Sanders. I mean, it's a joy to watch. I don't really think Chuck Schumer likes this. I think Chuck Schumer would be more than happy to go to some of his members and say, behind my back, please vote for the CR. But he can't get away with it anymore. The whole party is skewed. It's like a pinball machine on permanent tilt towards socialism. It's just unbelievable to me.
And Chuck Schumer's no pinball wizard. We know that.
He's lost a couple pounds, though. I'm kind of impressed. He can get. I noticed he buttoned his jacket the other day. But the point is, we're going on here, and the public will at some point revolt against us. I mean, this thing.
Let me tell you this, everybody. You know what people are revolting against, and I'm 100% with them, is what you're seeing on the screen. Okay? Illegal aliens receiving $177,000 in Medicaid health care. Okay? Democrats said it wasn't happening. It's not. It's against the law. It's not the law for them to receive it. It's against the law, so that's why they don't receive it. No, they still receive it. Look at it. Go fact check me. It's there. And not only that, sex offender as well. And so again, when we show you this stuff time and time again, and that's why we appreciate when you share our videos, you like our videos across Facebook, X, is that people on the left don't see this. And when they say, well, that's just a one-off. No, we show time and time again, it's not. It is 100% happening, and it's 100% showing that the Democrats only want to appease America last policies. PDX 67, let's go with the 5 gifted TrueLife news memberships. Show PDX 67 some love in the chat, as well as our boy Jim Barbato bringing the popcorn today. Guys, thank y'all so much, PDX, for helping us grow our voice, growing the membership. Show them some love in the chat. And don't forget to show Mike Sapsinski some love in the chat. Said, keep your eye on the Lord of Jesus, not what going on in our evil government, and I rebuke the deep state. Amen. In Jesus' name, let's go. Show Mike some love in the chat. As well as Lily Ignacio said, I want to let Chucky and Hakeem know that we, the people, are paying their salaries, so show us that your loyalty is for the people of the USA, baby. I love it. Show Lily some love in the chat. Again, the fight is against evil corruptness, everybody. And a lot of stuff is coming out, and I want to show you this too, because again, this is important. Just to show you how big of a difference Trump is making in the economy. Across the board. The economy is not even a priority anymore in people's minds. Listen to this.
about. Well, you know, Matt was mentioning about the econ playing such an important role in last year's presidential election. The top problem facing the U.S. is economic per Gallup. Last year, look at this, 43% at this time, 43% of Americans said the top problem was economic. Come to this side of the screen. It's just considerably different. We're talking about 24%. We're talking about a drop of nearly 20 points. And more than that, we're talking about across all of the different political groups, right? Democrats, independents, Republicans. We see that the percentage who say the top problem is economic has been falling through the floor. And more than that, you know, we're talking about inflation. The percentage of Americans who say that the top problem is inflation has also been falling, which is, I think, very much surprising given all the news that we are hearing about the economy.
It really is surprising. How does this compare to, like, the historical look at how people feel about the economy?
Okay, so, you know, let's talk about, we'll go through history, right? Let's take a look. The top problem facing the United States is economic. In the average midterm election, it's 35%. It's 35%. Look at where we are now. Again, it's 24%. It is lower.
That's
Fewer
huge.
Americans right now are saying the top problem is economic than historically have said that the top problem is economic. So it's not only that the top problem being economic is lower than we were at this time last year, it is lower than we have historically been despite all the news about how the economy is supposedly softening. So you just look at these numbers and you just go to yourself, wait a minute, there's something going on here with the American public whereby you're getting all this economic news, but yet the percentage of Americans who say the top problem is economic has actually been falling and is lower than it normally is.
Guys, do you see this? This is the stuff that they aren't showing you on the mainstream media because it's so good in the eyes of Trump and what Trump is trying to do right now. That nobody is focused on the economy anymore. Why? Because it is kicking butt. It is doing so well. And even with this that has come out today, the 75 million Americans will get a 2.8% increase in monthly Social Security benefits and SSI payments in 2026. This is up because they thought it was going to be lower towards 2%, and I'm happy that it's actually more closer towards 3%. Huge, huge win for America, everybody. I love it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Kim Clark, welcome to the family. Let's go. And Gina, bless it. I know I don't know why like YouTube changes up the names and stuff, but if you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, everybody, with the news that we're bringing. But they change up the names, and I'm pretty sure Blessed33311 is Gina. Show Gina some love in the chat, everybody, with the gifted 10 TrueLife News memberships. Growing the family. I love it. Let's go. Show Gina some love in the chat. KRO with the super chat, member of the channel, said, suit up, show up, and shut up. Get a job and praise God. Amen. I love that. Show KRO some love in the chat, as well as Jim Barbato, OG of the channel, having a good time laughing. I know. This is good, good, good stuff. Show Jim some love in the chat, as well as George Masalis with the super chat, said, thank you, Jesus, for True Life News and DJT. The Democrats are imploding. 100%, everybody. This is what I love, is that we're catching them just across the board. We are showing their true colors. Don't forget to show Gina, KRO, Jim Barbato, George some love in the chat. Listen to this.
Your phone company didn't give up the records.
Well, I found out the end of last week, and actually, Sean, you and I had dinner together just over a week ago, and we were talking about the fact that Jack Smith and the Biden Department of Justice had subpoenaed 8 Republican senators and had gotten their phone records, had gotten their detailed phone records. And I joked at dinner with you, Sean. I said, I'm a little offended they left me out. What do I got to do to be a target of them coming after me? Well, it turns out... they issued a subpoena, and you know, my cell phone company is AT&T, and AT&T, to their credit, said, no, we're not going to hand this over. AT&T's based in Texas, and kudos to AT&T. It was the right thing to do to say, we're not giving you those cell phone records, but the Biden DOJ subpoenaed nearly 20% of the Republicans in the United States Senate, their phone records. This was a fishing expedition. It was an abuse of power. This was, and by the way, they launched Arctic Frost, this witch hunt. They launched it 3 days after Donald Trump launched his reelection campaign to be reelected to the presidency. This was all about politics. And Arctic Frost is, I think, the Biden Department of Justice's Watergate. It is pure weaponization going after their political opponents. And I think the Department of Justice, the Biden DOJ, needs to be held to account.
All right. What is your take on the meltdown of the left on the White House renovations? Not a taxpayer dime being spent. All these past presidents, and, you know, they've been involved in renovation projects at the White House. And you're telling the GOP to take the political part seriously as it relates to all of these protests over the weekend. And I want to know what you mean by that, because, and some people are comparing it to the Tea Party. You know, I did a show in Atlanta on April 15, 2010, and we had 20, 25, 30,000 people show up at that event. There were moms and dads and people that had an agenda. They wanted less government intrusion, lower taxes, less regulation. I didn't exactly see a real agenda on display this weekend. I see a big difference. Yeah. Why do you think people should take it seriously?
Well, listen, there is no agenda in the Democrat Party today other than hatred for Donald Trump. And they are obsessed. They hate Donald Trump. I agree with you that these protests, they were not organic. They were paid for. They were bought and paid for. You and I talked about before how George Soros, there's real evidence that George Soros is paying for it. I talked about on my podcast, Verdict with Ted Cruz. I laid out the receipts, how Soros's foundation has given over $3 million to Indivisible, one of the key organizers of these protests. I think in many ways they're AstroTurf. However, the warning that I'm announcing, listen, on the left, hatred is a powerful motivator, and there is an energized base on the left who hates Donald Trump, and people who are energized can show up to vote on Election Day, and I fear sometimes that on the right, people are a little too relaxed, a little too complacent. They feel like, okay, we're winning, things are great, and that can be a dangerous combination. Right now, you look at small donors, Democrats are outraising Republicans online 3-1 or more because their side is filled with rage. I think there are a lot more.
Let me tell you this, everybody. You cannot deny when you see this on the screen, Democrats on the left and the rhetoric and the things that they've said. Democrat Texas State Representative Yolanda Jones sparked outrage after saying that Democrats need to wipe out every Republican and, in a graphic metaphor, slash their political opponents' throats. Like, this makes no sense whatsoever. This is never acceptable. This is never right in America when it comes to our political landscape, yet this is what is coming from individuals on the left. You tell me what should happen. This is something that I feel like it breaks my heart. This is something that we need to hold people accountable for. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. B1 Sly One, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. I'll check it out, brother. And it said, Mike Samsiski with the super chat said, the only truth and light is the Lord of Jesus. I rebuke Satan, get your hand of the world in Jesus' name. Amen. Show Mike some love in the chat, member of the channel. And Kim Jordan, OG of the channel as well, said, thank you for all you do to keep us informed. We appreciate you so much, Kim. We can't thank you enough for all your support. Show Mike Samsiski and B1 Sly with some love in the chat.
More Americans who believe in common sense, who like a secure border, like our families being safe, like the economy coming back. Like, there is an incredible record of success to campaign on. But the warning that I'm putting out is we've got to make sure that we turn people out, because if we're complacent and sit on our laurels, that's how you lose the House or even potentially lose the Senate. We can't let that happen because the stakes are too high. And that means we got to make sure we turn people out.
I think it's a fair admonition. You can lose any election, and you can't take anything for granted. Is the government going to open anytime soon?
Who the heck knows, Sean? The amazing thing is the Democrats, for this shutdown, look, on one level, they forced a shutdown to have free taxpayer-provided health care for illegal aliens. But at another level, that's not even the heart of their ask. They know they're never going to get that. This shutdown is happening simply because Chuck Schumer is afraid of being primaried from the left. And the Democrats are all trying to show their crazy base they hate Trump as much as the base does. And look, Schumer's afraid AOC is going to primary him, but it's not just Schumer. Just about every Democrat. We voted 11 times to reopen the government, and the Democrats are all voting to keep the government closed, and not just the crazy left. You look at John Ossoff, who's running for re-election in Georgia. He's the most vulnerable Democrat on the ballot next year. He's voted 11 times to keep the government shut down because I guess Ossoff's calculus is he only cares about the crazy radicals on the left. And all across the country, the federal workers who are going to work and not getting paid, he doesn't care about them. The American citizens who are not getting the government, that the national parks and the Smithsonian and the museums. And look, on Friday, Sean, I went to Hobby Airport in Houston. I did a press conference. I pointed out 50,000 TSA agents are going to work right now and not being paid. 14,000 air traffic controllers are going to work and not being paid. And we're seeing delays, we're seeing stoppages, and the Democrats do not care. And the American people are...
Guys, let me tell you this. Again, we're living in some hard times right now because you've got people that are being attacked by ICE. No, I mean, you got ICE that is being attacked by people. Trump's trying to crack down on leadership in the Democratic Party that are threatening ICE with imprisonment. And again, too, this is getting real. And I want to say this, too, to everybody in the chat. Guys, as long as people are not attacking me or people in the chat and not using profanity, they can say whatever they want. I don't care. Okay? That's the thing. If you use profanity, if you attack me or you attack people in the chat, I will block you. But other than that, it just like Lalo Caravillo. If Lalo Caravillo says Blue Texas is coming, okay, great. That's great for you. We don't believe it, but just because we don't agree with the statements doesn't mean I'm going to block them. It's only if they attack me or attack people in the chat or they are cussing, okay? But other than that, listen to this, because I'm telling you, we're at the breaking point with this whole anti-ICE brigade.
One more question, if I may. Is the administration at all supportive of potential measures to crack down or regulate or even ban apps that track ICE agents' locations?
What do you mean by that?
Like specific apps that are used to track the location of ICE agents.
I guess we'll do that. I'm not a big app guy. I'm not into that too much. I think Pam might be it. Let's go.
Yes.
Give me a good answer there.
Yes. These organizations, President Trump, are coming in and their apps to track our federal law enforcement officers, and it jeopardizes their lives, where they're going to be, their location. And we've actually been working really well with the tech companies who have been cooperating because they don't want our law enforcement officers to get injured. So, yes.
Well, I mean, I see it with ICE, where they're having, where they define where they live, who they are. And, I didn't have a big view on the mask, but I now understand why they should wear masks. I think it's very dangerous for them not to wear masks. They can do whatever they want. I notice some do it and some don't, but it's pretty dangerous. But when you look at, you talk about that question, I think it's very dangerous, and I think you're coming down on that very hard, right?
Yeah, please. You hear that? I'm telling you, everybody, people are fed up. And everything that we're seeing across the board with what is going on in violence across the United States, this craziness of what they're trying to do for this mass blackout, it's all about just hurting the United States. Jim Barbato, let's go with the super chat. I love it. Let me tell you this. I love that America is winning. I don't really care about the Democrats, and I really don't care about the Republicans. I care that America is winning. I care that MAGA, Make America Great Again, is winning. America First policies is winning. And this, to me, matters so much. Thank you so much, Jim Barbato, for the super chat. Let's go. If you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, thank you so much, everybody, for your support. Want to give some love to everybody that is given today, and just want to say thank you to everybody that is a member of the channel, to those that support us in our giving through being a member or super chat. Remember, we partner with you, and on the 22nd of every single month, we donate live on stream to a local charity, and we help the innocent to these children's homes. And again, too, guys, at the end of the day, whether you agree with me or not, we want to do what's best and do what's right. And I don't see that coming from the left. And I feel like we have to realign all of Congress to get us back on the right track. If you're not subscribed to the family, please consider subscribing, joining our family so we can take care of you every day with the top news. I want to give some special love today to Jitso G123. Show some love to Jitso G123 in the chat, everybody. The real KRO, thank you so much for your kindness. We appreciate you so much. Andy, thank you so much, brother. You're an OG. Our boy Jim Barbato, OG of the channel, member of the channel. Thank you so much, brother. Catherine Rex, Alice Lewis, thank you so much. April Green, thank y'all all so much for helping us get likes on the channel. Joghaws, Gina, thank you so much, Gina, for your kindness. Tracy DeCambre, Tymet Chong, OG of the channel. PDX67 for the gifted 5 TrueLife News memberships. Show PDX67 some love in the chat. Mike Sapsinski, Lily Ignacio, Kim Clark, George Masalis, B1 Sly One, Kim Jordan. Thank y'all all so much for your kindness, for helping us grow our family. Don't forget to show Gina some love in the chat if you got a free membership from her. We just appreciate you all so much, and thank you so much for all your support. Tracy DeCambre said, this is such frightening times. It's frightening here in California. MAGA, Tracy, our prayers are with you. We pray that everybody is safe. We love you all. Thank you so much for sharing our videos on X, on Facebook. We can't thank you enough. Y'all have a wonderful day, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.